See this little sticker? It's worth a ton of money, and starting in March, the government is cracking down on it. The USDA has just proposed even stricter rules about what can and cannot be called organic. You may or may not know this, but Congress passed a law way back in 1990 to determine what is and is not organic generally. If you farm with natural substances, you get an organic sticker. And if you use synthetic substances when you farm, you get no sticker. Now, it's actually way more complicated than that, and I'll explain in a second, but back to Congress. They established these rules 30 years ago for a really good reason: to set a national standard and to help all of us be confident in what we're getting when we go to the store and buy something that says USDA Organic. And that little sticker is big business. According to the Organic Trade Association, Americans spent more than $63 billion on organic food in 2021. We all know when we buy the organic apple, it's going to cost a lot more than the regular one. So when the business is that lucrative, you know there are people out there trying to cheat the system to get their own slice of the organic apple. And that's why the USDA just proposed even stricter rules so that it can close what some in the industry call loopholes that have allowed some non-organic ingredients to sneak their way into the organic food supply chain and have led to a sometimes chaotic system where tracing the product to actually see if it's organic becomes almost impossible. Generally, to get the sticker and be called USDA Organic, you have to meet the following guidelines. Obviously, you can't use any of these synthetic substances in the growing process. This is the actual federal code that lists all of them. The product has to be grown with natural substances, and from the moment it's planted to the time it gets to the grocery store, it has to follow a strict chain of custody through certified suppliers, transporters, processors, and the list goes on. It is really complicated, and the product changes hands so many times. And when there's a lot of hands in something, the organic ball can sometimes get dropped. And all of a sudden, the USDA says products produced organically can sometimes get mixed in with other non-organic products. And don't even get me started on how hard the product is to trace when the supplier is international. But it's not just the supply chain mishandling that's the problem. The USDA says over the years there's been a lot of fraud in the organic industry too, like deceptive representation and sales or labeling of non-organic products as organic. So because of all of that, the USDA is doing four main things to crack down: tightening up the organic control systems, improving the oversight of the organic products imported from other countries, making sure those who want to use the USDA organic label understand how to get certified up and down the supply chain, and enhancing the ability for the government to trace those organic products throughout that complicated supply chain. The Organic Trade Organization has been fighting to get these changes for years, but others in the organic community say the FDA isn't going far enough. Regardless, everyone in the organic food industry must comply with these strict new rules by March 19th.